Okay, in this lesson, we will handle this. Because we are still using this blueprint, you will notice its base class is character, which does not meet our requirements, so we need to do a migration. Similarly, let's go to our own project, create a simple folder, and follow its hierarchy. Character, then here we have hero, right? Then we can give it a folder called fresh pen. Okay, and we might need to give it an animation here. Then, what we need to handle. Actually, we can see that his blueprint is placed here. So we will also put the blueprint in this location. How do we place it? Actually, it's very simple. We find this location, we copy this over, we make a copy. Okay, after we make a copy, we put it in this location. Good, then we change the name. Did we click on something? Clicked the wrong thing. Let's rename them. According to our project naming conventions, we can just compile the ABP first. Okay. Then let's open this animation blueprint. We need to make some modifications for the presentation. First, let's find this animation and this animation. Let's make a copy of this animation as well. Use the original animation. Let's try not to modify its stuff because there might be issues. We might need to copy the entire folder. Let's put this animation here, okay? Let's open this animation and take a look. Looks fine. Okay, there should be one missing example effect here. Let's find it. There should be a level up here. This level up at start. You can see when this is an animation notification to play a particle effect, it should be fine. Let's take another look. Okay, let's save it. Then let's go to our app and let's make it. We need to rename this animation blueprint. Let's call it AM. That is anime montage. I like using AM. Ha. Okay. Then here we replace it with AM live star. And if we don't need this part, we delete it. And this part we actually don't need. Ha. We don't need this thing. Because we don't need to build the online system this way. We will abstract C++ components separately to do it. And for this animation, notify section, there is something we need to slightly modify because it has a division sign here. It divides by data time. But I find that this part might have some issues. Sometimes because it can divide by 0. So here we force it, add 0.0001 to it. Just add a little bit like this. Don't add too much. Add a little bit like this to avoid problems. Because there is a division by 0 exception here. Okay, good. Basically, there shouldn't be any other issues. Then, as for this animation blueprint, here in the anim graph, we can add the one. We add it here. Default, okay. Let's add a slot. Add a default full body slot. This way, later when we have some animations, we can easily implement the. Let's pause here for 2 seconds because here, you might miss it. Because many people can't play montage, they keep checking network issues. But actually, it might not be a network problem. It's just that when you click, you didn't even add this slot. That's why it can't play. Okay, after this is done, let's go ahead and create one. That's basically okay now. Then let's go back to our place here. Then let's go back up here. This is what it looks like. Then let's create a paper one for it. Then let's put this paper one here. Then let's change the name for it. Change it to Xianba. Then we just need to swap the model here. We can just swap the model directly. Of course, we can use a configuration table later. That's totally fine. Okay, here we need to swap the animation blueprint. Okay, done like this. After finishing it like this, now let's test it to see if this thing works properly. Then we replace its default with our own default. You'll notice it can now walk, run, and jump. You can see. Right. It turns out to be okay. Then let's switch to 2 characters. Let's take a look. But of course we can't connect right now. That's perfectly normal. Other than that, there are no issues. Okay, so now we have created for our own character model. Following the same logic, you can introduce new heroes. You just import the null hero, and then you can have multiple characters. Good. Later we will add a second character. Just pick any character. As long as you go through this configuration process, but we might not have the content of the data table, just show everyone how to use Blueprint to do resource configuration. Okay, then let's stop here for this lesson.